Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be making Thermomix, or your equivalent of a Thermomix, chocolate banana muffins. And so these muffins take me about maybe 15 minutes, including prep time and kind of cook time, to make in my Thermomix slash Bellini. So if you've not been here before or you don't know what a Thermomix or a Bellini is, it's a thermal cooker. So it basically does everything that other appliances do. Like it can be a rice cooker, it can cook meat for like chili con carne and stuff like that. It can mix dough for pizza dough or for baking goods. It can saute, it can blend, it can chop. It does everything. So I love it. It's particularly good for people like me who I have trouble mixing things or cutting things up myself because I have injuries to both my hands. So I think this is like a magical machine that I use basically every day. And today what I'm going to be showing you is how to make Thermomix chocolate banana muffins, chocolate chip banana muffins that last me about the week, and I can also double the recipe and then do a couple batches and freeze the other one. So these are very popular banana muffins. If I make many, then they tend not to last very long because my husband will eat them up, my coworkers will eat them up, so it's also the perfect treat to bring in for the office. So what I'm going to do is show you the ingredients first, and then I'm going to go through and show you how to make it in the Bellini behind me here. And then I will show you the final goods. So here we go. So the ingredients today, we're going to need some butter, and I use this dairy-free option for me because I am lactose intolerant. And then you're going to need some milk, and again, mine is lactose-free for me. You're going to need some honey and some white sugar. So this is some white castor sugar in my cute little container here. And then there is vanilla extract, which you need, cinnamon, some self-raising flour, baking powder, baking soda, 2 eggs, chocolate chips, and then my 2 frozen black bananas. So just left those out and I'm thawing them for a bit, but I'm probably going to just pop them into the microwave and get them a little bit less frozen, and then I will get on to the first step, which involves mashing the bananas using the Thermomix, because again, none of this involves me doing any kind of mixing, and the whole process from start to finish in terms of prepping the dough takes about 2 minutes. It's a fantastic recipe. And then the last thing you'll need is just your muffin tins, and if you want them, your muffin liners to go in your pan. It makes about 12 to 18 muffins, so I just put out 18 just in case. And so I'm going to go ahead and line the muffin tins while the mix is cooking in the Bellini, and I will show you, or not cooking, it's just going to be mixing in the Bellini. So I'm going to show you the next ingredients and steps starting now. I put my what were frozen bananas and now are like lukewarm microwaved bananas into the Bellini. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on speed 8 for about 10 seconds. And then I will show you what that looks like in just a few seconds. So that's 8 seconds, that's 10 seconds, and we want speed 8. Okay, and I have the lid on and the banana is inside. Okay, and so that is my perfectly whizzed bananas. So for those of you that make like baby food and stuff like that at home, very easy to whip together your own baby food. All right, next we are going to grab the butter. So I pre-measured my, my milk here that I'm spilling, and my butter. So this is my 80 grams of butter. So I'm going to put that into the Thermomix next and show you the settings for that. Just poured out my banana mix that I just showed you and put it in a bowl and set it aside for the moment, and I just stuck in my 80 grams of butter in there. So now we're going to go ahead and melt that butter. So all we're going to do is put it on for 1 minute, and then Got my 1 minute mark, and then I'm going to put it on speed 3 at 60 degrees. Okay, so I have my butter inside, and so now I'm going to put it on for 1 minute at speed 3 at 100 degrees so that it melts the butter. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. Just poured in a teaspoon of vanilla and a teaspoon of honey, and then 125 grams of milk that I had pre-measured out. And so now that's in there, I'm going to mix that. So milk, honey, vanilla on 20 seconds on speed 6. I'm going to mix that milk, honey, and vanilla. So on speed 3 for 20 seconds, I just cracked the eggs and put them through the hole in the middle and let that fall in and mix. And so now I'm going to put in the banana mixture that I had set aside before. So this lovely puree banana looks very appetizing. I'm going to throw that in, and then I'm going to mix on the next setting, which I'll show you now. Alright, another 20 seconds on speed 3 for that banana mix, and the eggs have already mixed in, so did those on 20 seconds for 3 speed. I did the eggs on 20 seconds on speed 3, and now this is the bananas in there on 20 seconds with speed 3. Okay, so that is it for the wet ingredients. And so now that all the wet ingredients are in there, I'm just going to put in the dry ingredients all together, which is 250 grams of flour, 100 grams of white sugar, a teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of cinnamon, a pinch of salt if you want to add salt, and then I will then mix that all together, and then we'll have our dough, and then I'll put the chocolate chips in, and that will be everything to get it into the oven. So I'm going to turn the oven on now. You can definitely turn the oven on at the beginning, but because I was filming this, I take a little bit longer chatting to you guys, and so what normally is like a 2-minute recipe takes me like 5 to 10 minutes since I'm explaining things as I go. So oven will go on at 180 degrees Celsius, I think, and then we'll stick these in the oven. So I'll show you the dough next once it's all mixed together, and then we'll stick it in the oven. Okay, so all the dry ingredients are in there, so I'm going to put it on speed 4 for 5 seconds, and that will just quickly whiz together all the wet and dry. Alright, that is all the dry mixed into the wet ingredients now, and then I'll put the chocolate chips in, and then we are ready to pour. Okay, so this is the batter all mixed together. So what I'm going to do is just pour all of this into my baking pans here, and my oven is already going over there. And so in about 15 minutes we'll have banana muffins. Alright, so they are just finishing up in the oven, so I'll just show you those last 3 there. And I've taken these ones out and they are cooling, and so you just want them kind of goldeny brown on top like that. So I'll let these cool, and then that is it for the banana chocolate chip muffins to last you for a week of breakfast or just fun snacks throughout the week. So as I said, they freeze well, and I'm going to link the recipe down below. But basically any kind of Thermomix, Bellini, Thermocooker of any kind that you have, you can follow this recipe. It's pretty easy, and they're delicious, and it takes the fraction of time that it would take you to do anything else. And if you're like me and time poor, I also pre-prepare the dry ingredients and put them in baggies and just list out what wet ingredients I need to add. So obviously the honey, milk, bananas, butter, etc. And so if you just have the wet ingredients ready to go, I just dump them in, and that's even more time that you save, and it's just an easy thing to pull out and make each week. So this is the final look at my yummy banana chocolate muffins, and now I'm going to eat them. Yum. Ta-da!